People say electric motorcycles are the future, but I disagree, because I think electric motorcycles are the here and now. And today we're riding one of the most popular examples on UK roads. It's this, the Super Soco TC Max. Super Soco have been around for quite a few years now, and they make smaller electric motorcycles. They make a lot of mopeds, but this is, in licensing terms and performance terms, largely equivalent to a 125cc petrol bike. It costs about £4.5 grand. The version we have here has alloy wheels. You can also get it with spoked wheels, which are £100 more. And there's a lot I really like about it. I love the looks. I find it quite hard sometimes to describe the looks. It's a little bit of a mashup of new and retro. Obviously there's no engine there, which has been covered up. I think it looks really funky. I like the fact that the finishes, they've used a lot of silver. It makes it bright, and combined with this yellow, and I love yellow, it really stands out. It looks distinctive. I think it's a really nicely finished product. To ride it, it's really lively. The motor puts out 5 kilowatts, so that's quite a lot less than a 125 petrol bike. But actually what you've got to remember is that the way the electric delivers that power is so different. It's instantaneous. Where your petrol bike makes its peak power in a really small power band, this thing delivers its drive instantly. And as a result, it's really quick off the line, and it gets up to its top speed pretty quickly. You've got 3 power modes. That's controlled by a button on your right thumb. Now that dictates how much power you have and how much top speed you have, and ultimately how much range you have. The range can be up to 90 miles, more realistically about 60 if you use all the top speed. Top speed is about 60 miles an hour. I think what's important when you have a lower powered bike is that you have enough speed. It's not all about top speed numbers, but being able to run in the flow of traffic is really important for me. I think if you're fending off trucks and buses behind you, you feel very vulnerable. But this has just got enough top speed to allow you to keep in front of the heavy stuff on the road. And while I wouldn't buy it necessarily to do loads and loads of miles on the dual carriageways, if I had to go up 1 or 2 junctions on my daily commute, I'd be quite happy on this. Other things I like, the battery is removable. You can either charge it on board, plugging in the charger to the port on the right hand side of the bike. But if you live in the flat or you want to take it into your work to charge it up, the lid lifts up, you can take it out and you can charge it up. Charges in domestic supply, and it takes between 3 or 4 hours depending on how depleted the battery is. They put good tyres on it. Now that might sound like a small thing, but often manufacturers cut corners and they put cheap tyres on them. These guys have put Michelin Pilot street tyres on this bike, and that's great. You know, sometimes they can put really hard, cheap, nasty tyres. Today it's been sunny and dry and it doesn't really matter too much, but I've used these tyres on other bikes in the past when it's been cold and wet, and they give a lot of reassurance, and that's fantastic, especially if you're a novice rider. We've borrowed this bike from Wheels Motorcycles in Peterborough, and they told us that there's a wide range of people buying these bikes. A lot of their customers are youngsters riding around on CBT, but also commuters as well, looking for something cheap and easy to get around. It is insanely easy to ride this. It is twist and go, and it is so light and nimble and agile. And there's a couple of things I'm not so keen on. It is physically quite small, and I'm a small guy. I fit in it really well, but I think if you're taller, you might find yourself a little bit all arms and legs. And personally, I'd like to sit a little bit higher in the traffic just to get a little bit more sort of presence on the roads. I'm also not keen on indicators. You've got to use a very positive action to switch them on and off. And that combines with the fact that they don't make any noise. There's no clicking or synthetic sound to remind you they're on. And on a bright day like today, it's quite hard to see the light on the dashboard. And as a result, I found myself riding around quite a bit with the indicator stuck on and me kind of being oblivious to that. Would it stop me from buying one? Absolutely not, but it's a minor irritant. I'm not super keen on the brakes either. It doesn't have ABS, they're linked brakes, which all 125 equivalent bikes have to have, and they're okay, but they feel a little bit wooden, a little bit, so they lack a little bit of feedback. Again, would it stop me from buying it? No. Would I prefer it to be a little bit different? Yeah, probably. You know, I know a lot of die-hard motorcyclists, they poo-poo electric motorcycles. But here's the news. They're here and they're here to stay, and they are brilliant. If you've ever ridden a big capacity electric bike, you will know they are massive fun. And bikes like these might not be noisy and smelly like the 125s that I grew up riding. What it does have is it gives you mobility, and that when you're a youngster is so important. Bikes like these are absolutely critical for the mobility of the next generation. I think it's fantastic, wholeheartedly recommend it.